Imagine standing close, the space between you charged with a quiet kind of electricity. You lean in slowly, not too close, just enough for the air to shift. And then at the last second, you pause. Maybe your lips brush a cheek. Maybe they linger a breath away from a kiss that never quite lands. That's the tease kiss. It's not about going all the way. It's about making them wonder what might happen next. The tease kiss is pure feminine energy in motion. It's playful, mysterious, and completely confident. It whispers instead of shouts. It doesn't beg for attention. It commands it by giving just a taste. This kiss isn't about proving how much you want someone. It's about letting desire build naturally. And that's the power of it. It leaves a trail of curiosity, and curiosity is where obsession begins. There's something deeply attractive about restraint. When you don't give everything away at once, you create a sense of value. A tease kiss communicates, I'm not here to chase, I'm here to be discovered. That subtle difference shifts the dynamic. It's not manipulation, it's magnetism. The tease kiss holds back just enough to let imagination do the rest. In a world that's constantly rushing, the tease kiss slows things down. It invites presence. It breaks the pattern of instant gratification and brings mystery back into the connection. And when someone feels that mystery, when they're not quite sure what your next move will be, it pulls them in deeper. Not because you're trying to play games, but because you're letting the energy between you rise without forcing it. Think about the power of anticipation. A wrapped gift is more exciting than an open one. A door that's cracked slightly open makes us lean in to see what's behind it. That's what the tease kiss does. It invites someone closer without fully letting them in. It's soft, it's gentle, and it says, I'm enjoying this moment, and maybe, just maybe, there's more. What makes this kiss so powerful is the confidence behind it. You're not kissing to prove anything. You're not trying to impress. You're simply expressing how you feel in that moment, with full awareness that your energy is enough. That belief in your own desirability is what sets this kind of kiss apart. It's not about what happens physically, it's about the energy you radiate. The tease kiss flows from self-assuredness. It doesn't say, do you like me? It says, I know who I am, and I'm choosing to share this moment with you. This kiss shows that you're in no rush. You're not chasing the outcome. You're savoring the process. You're letting connection unfold instead of trying to control it. And that space, that openness, creates room for real chemistry to grow. Because when someone feels that you're not trying to capture them, they start wondering what they can do to capture you. It also creates contrast. When the time finally comes for a deeper kiss, it means something. It's not just another moment. It's the payoff to a buildup that's been growing in the background, and contrast is what makes moments memorable. It's the reason why a single slow kiss can feel more intense than a dozen rushed ones. When you know how to hold back just enough, every touch becomes more meaningful. The tease kiss works best when paired with intention. It's not about withholding, it's about presence. You're not cold or distant. You're warm, engaged, and aware. Your eyes speak volumes, your smile hints at playfulness, and your touch lingers just long enough to be remembered. You create a feeling, not just in the body, but in the heart. And that feeling lingers long after the kiss ends. There's a kind of thrill in restraint, in knowing that you could go further, but choosing to pause right there. That moment of pause is where tension lives. And when you learn to enjoy that tension, when you let it breathe, it becomes irresistible, because it's not about taking control, it's about creating an invitation. Not a loud one, but a quiet, confident one that says, this is fun, and I'm enjoying you, but I'm also enjoying me. At its core, the tease kiss isn't about performance. It's about connection. It's about knowing your power and choosing how you want to share it. When you kiss like that, you don't just capture attention, you spark desire. You become unforgettable not because of what you did, but because of how you made them feel. You didn't give everything away. You gave just enough. And that mystery, that's what keeps them coming back. There's a kind of kiss that doesn't come from passion or anticipation, but from something deeper, recognition. The appreciation kiss is the one that's given with heart, often in the smallest moments, and it carries a message that words struggle to express. It might land softly on a cheek during a quiet pause in conversation. It might brush across a hand when someone least expects it. It might be placed gently on the forehead right before walking away. This kiss says, I see you, I value, you matter. And that feeling stays with someone far longer than a fleeting moment of attraction. Appreciation is a soul language. It feeds something beyond ego. It nurtures the spirit. When a kiss comes from a place of gratitude, of truly seeing someone for who they are, not just what they do, it creates emotional safety. It lets the other person exhale. And in that exhale, connection deepens. The appreciation kiss doesn't ask for anything in return. It's not given to get, it's given to give. It says, thank you for being you. And in a world where so many people feel unseen, that acknowledgement is magnetic. There's a warmth to this kiss that bypasses logic. It disarms defenses. It catches people off guard in the best way. When it comes unexpectedly, like in the middle of laughter or at the end of a shared silence, it sends a signal that presence is enough. That being together, even in stillness, has value. And that feeling, that quiet honoring, is unforgettable. It lingers in the heart, not because of the kiss itself, but because of the intention behind it. You might give this kiss when someone shows up for you in a small but meaningful way. Not because they performed some grand gesture, but because you noticed their effort, their kindness, their consistency. And instead of brushing past it, you pause and let your affection speak. A soft kiss on the cheek can say more than a dozen compliments. It can say, you didn't have to, but you did, and I'm grateful. What makes the appreciation kiss so powerful is its sincerity. There's no performance in it, no drama, just truth. And truth is what people crave in a connection. It's the kind of affection that builds trust brick by brick without needing grand displays. It's a kiss that carries emotional depth. It says, I'm paying attention. I see the little things. That kind of attention creates emotional intimacy, the kind that isn't easily shaken. In those moments when this kiss is given, time tends to slow down. The world gets quieter. It's almost as if the energy in the room shifts, just for a second, to focus on that one shared moment. That's the soul-level nourishment it offers. It reminds someone that they're more than enough, not because they're doing anything special, but because they're simply being themselves. When affection is tied to appreciation rather than desire or expectation, it grounds the relationship. It brings it back to what matters. This kiss can also be healing. For someone who's been unseen, undervalued, or overlooked, a simple gesture of appreciation can soften walls built by past hurt. It can rewrite stories that say, you're only loved for what you give. It invites a new narrative. You're cherished just for being here. That kind of affirmation doesn't just feel good. It creates emotional safety, which is the foundation of any strong bond, even if everything else fades. Passion, excitement, novelty, appreciation remains. And a kiss rooted in appreciation has staying power. It isn't driven by adrenaline. It's driven by love, by presence, by choice. It asks nothing and yet gives everything. And because it's given without agenda, it's received more deeply. Sometimes this kiss happens when words fall short. When someone does something kind or shows up in a way that touches your heart, but you can't quite find the language to thank them. That's when this kiss steps in. It becomes the translator of your gratitude. It delivers your emotion with tenderness and clarity. It tells the other person that you noticed and that what they did mattered. Not just to you, but to the moment you shared. This kind of affection doesn't just feel good. It creates a foundation. It makes someone feel safe, respected, and important. And in that feeling, deeper connection is born. When affection is grounded in gratitude, it can't help but be powerful. Because appreciation is rare, and what's rare becomes sacred. The appreciation kiss doesn't sparkle loudly, but it shines quietly in the moments that matter most. It brings people closer, not through intensity, but through sincerity. And in the end, that sincerity is what leaves a lasting impression. There's a kiss that doesn't rush, doesn't chase, and doesn't happen just because it's expected. It's deliberate, slow, and rich with presence. The passionate pause kiss is the one that interrupts everything. Movement, words, even thought, and creates a moment suspended in time. It doesn't begin with lips. It begins with the eyes, the breath, the awareness that something meaningful is about to unfold. This kiss doesn't just touch skin, it touches emotion. It invites vulnerability, and in doing so, it creates a depth that lingers long after it's over. What makes this kiss so powerful is the pause. The space before it begins is filled with silent electricity. That space says, I'm here. I'm with you. I'm choosing this moment fully. It's not a kiss that's driven by need or impulse. It's guided by intention. That moment of stillness, of connection, without touching, amplifies everything, because when you pause like that, when you let time stretch just a little before the kiss happens, you build anticipation not just physically, but emotionally. It makes the moment feel important. And when something feels important, it sinks in. This kiss speaks a language that words often fail to capture. It's not fast. It's not frantic. It doesn't burn hot and disappear. It simmers. It unfolds slowly, like a secret being revealed one breath at a time. And in that slowness, trust is built. The passionate pause kiss invites presence. It says, let's stop the world for a second and just be right here. That invitation is rare. Most people live in fast, forward, brushing past their own feelings, let alone someone else's. But this kiss, it asks you to feel everything. There's a difference between kissing someone and being with someone in a kiss. The passionate pause makes sure you're both in it, not just physically, but emotionally. It's the kind of kiss that pulls two people into the same moment, the same heartbeat, the same breath. It's about sensing up, not in a performative way, but in a deeply human one. And when that connection is made, even for just a few seconds, it leaves an emotional imprint. It tells a story without a single word. Often, this kiss happens when something meaningful has already been shared. After a heartfelt conversation, a moment of eye contact that lingers too long, or a silence that feels full instead of awkward. It's the punctuation mark on intimacy, the one that says, I felt that too. It's not about proving desire. It's about reflecting depth. And in that reflection, the bond grows stronger. Because when someone feels emotionally seen, they open. And this kiss helps open that door. It's also a kiss that resets energy. If tension has been building, whether emotional, romantic, or even a kind of unspoken longing, this kiss breaks through it. But not with force. It breaks through with softness, with the courage to slow down and truly feel. There's bravery in that pause. Because it requires presence. It requires listening not just with the ears, but with the heart. And it says, I'm not here to take. I'm here to experience. You don't give this kiss because the moment is right. You create the moment by choosing to be right there. By looking into someone's eyes a little longer. By letting your hand rest gently on their cheek or shoulder. By not rushing to fill the silence. And when your lips finally meet, it's not about technique. It's about surrender. Surrender to the stillness, the emotion, the connection. That surrender is what makes it unforgettable. This kiss is tender, but it's also powerful. Because when you kiss like this, you're not just offering affection, you're offering presence. And presence is one of the rarest gifts. Most people are used to distraction. Their minds are often somewhere else, even in moments that should feel intimate. But the passionate pause kiss breaks that habit. It brings everything into alignment. Mind, body, emotion. Everything becomes focused on that one shared experience. And that focus creates impact. It's the kind of kiss that someone thinks about later, not just because of how it felt, but because of how they felt during it. Safe, desired, important. Not rushed or consumed, but held and seen. It doesn't have to lead to anything else. It can stand alone as a complete moment. Because its power isn't in what comes after. It's in the pause itself. The pause that allowed something real to happen. That gave both people a chance to simply feel, without pressure, without urgency. Just presence, passion, and connection woven into a single, unforgettable kiss. There's a kiss that doesn't wait for the right moment, the perfect setting, or a romantic soundtrack. It arrives suddenly, right in the middle of something ordinary, and that's exactly what makes it extraordinary. The spontaneous kiss isn't rehearsed. It's not planned. It's not given because it's expected. It's given because a spark hits and you act on it without thinking twice. It disrupts routine in the best way. It breathes life into the familiar and reminds both people that love isn't just something you feel in private. It's something that lives in the everyday, waiting to be awakened. You might find this kiss happening in the kitchen, mid-conversation while chopping vegetables, when a smile hits you so unexpectedly that you lean in without warning. Or maybe it happens in the middle of a sidewalk, surrounded by strangers, when laughter bubbles up between you and the feeling becomes too strong to ignore. It might come during a quiet moment while folding laundry or right before parting ways at the front door. These are not moments people expect to be kissed. And that's what makes the gesture unforgettable. It's real, it's raw, it's full of life. This kind of kiss says, I'm thinking about you right now in this exact second. It doesn't need candles or music or a script. It doesn't wait until everything's perfectly in place. It creates its own magic by showing up unexpectedly. And when affection catches someone off guard like that, it lands more deeply. It interrupts thought. It snaps someone out of autopilot and back into presence. Because in that sudden touch, there's a message. You matter to me. Not just when it's convenient, but always. The power of the spontaneous kiss lies in its authenticity. It's not calculated or timed. It's instinctual, and instinct is often where the truest expressions of affection come from. When you act on a feeling in the moment, you're showing a level of emotional freedom that invites someone else to do the same. You're saying, let's not overthink this. Let's just feel it. And that kind of honesty is rare. It draws people closer without even trying. It creates intimacy without needing words. This kiss also keeps things fresh. In relationships, it's easy to fall into patterns, predictable greetings, scheduled date nights, the same routines over and over again. And while consistency can be comforting, it can also become numbing. Spontaneity breaks that cycle. It brings play back into the connection. When someone never quite knows when or where the next kiss will come, it creates a sense of excitement, not tension, but playful curiosity. And that keeps chemistry alive. Even more than that, a spontaneous kiss shows that attraction and affection aren't confined to a certain mood or moment. They're alive at any time. On a lazy Sunday, during a grocery run, even in the middle of a disagreement. That's what makes it so impactful. It doesn't wait for permission. It finds the beauty in the messy, unscripted, human parts of life. And when affection shows up in those places, it means more. It reminds someone that love isn't a performance. It's a presence. There's also an element of courage in a spontaneous kiss. It's vulnerable to act on a feeling without planning it, to reach out when nothing told you to express connection when logic might say, wait for later. But the truth is, later isn't guaranteed. And when you kiss someone in the now, just because you felt moved to, you're showing them that they're worth interrupting life for. That kind of affection speaks louder than a dozen perfectly timed gestures. It's not about effort. It's about energy. This kiss can be playful or deep, silly or soft. It adapts to the moment. Sometimes it's quick and lighthearted, a brush of lips just to say, you're cute and I couldn't help myself. Other times it's lingering and full, like a quiet whisper that says, I'm feeling something right now and I want you to feel it too. No matter how it's delivered, its impact comes from the fact that it wasn't planned. It was felt. And when someone feels chosen in the middle of an ordinary moment, it tells them everything they need to know. The spontaneous kiss is a celebration of presence. It's a reminder that love isn't always in the grand gestures. It's in the interruptions. It's in the way two people can be going about their day, lost in the routine, and then suddenly be pulled into something real and electric, if only for a few seconds. That moment doesn't need to last forever to be meaningful. Its power lies in how unexpected it was, how real it felt, and how completely it reminded someone, right here, right now, I see you, I feel you, and I want you. There's a kiss that doesn't come from longing, approval seeking, or trying to win someone over. It comes from a place of inner strength, from knowing exactly who you are and what you bring to the moment. The empowered kiss isn't about proving your worth to anyone else. It's a reflection of already owning it. It's calm, confident, and completely grounded. It says, I'm not here to fill a void or chase validation. I'm here to share energy, and only if it feels aligned. This kiss carries a frequency of self-respect that can be felt the moment it happens. It doesn't cling. It doesn't convince. It offers. And that kind of offering has a power all its own. There's something unmistakable about a kiss given by someone who's deeply rooted in their value. It's not aggressive, but it's certain. It doesn't hesitate or overthink. It lands with intention. It's full, not because it's dramatic, but because it's honest. When someone kisses from this space, they're not trying to spark attraction. They're radiating it. They're not trying to be chosen. They're doing the choosing. And that shift in energy creates a different kind of chemistry, one that's magnetic but not needy, intimate but not consuming. The empowered kiss doesn't come from a place of lack. It's not about proving desirability or hoping for reciprocation. It's about expression, a clear, embodied yes to the moment, offered from a whole heart. It holds the subtle but undeniable truth that I'm enough with or without this connection. And that kind of energy is unforgettable because it feels safe and expansive at the same time. It doesn't take, it shares, it doesn't chase, it invites. And in doing so, it flips the script on what connection looks like. This kind of kiss might arrive slowly or with quiet confidence or even with playful boldness. But no matter how it's expressed, it's rooted in choice, not fear. It's not driven by the question, do you want me? But by the knowing, I want this. And I trust myself enough to honor that. There's no second guessing, no shrinking, no pretending, just presence and permission. And that's what makes it stand out. Because when someone sees you standing fully in your own value, they don't just feel attraction, they feel admiration. The empowered kiss is also deeply sensual because it's not afraid of being fully present in the body. When you know your worth, you're not afraid to take up space. You're not bracing for rejection or adjusting your expression to please someone else. You're simply being you fully in that moment. And in that fullness, you create real intimacy, the kind that doesn't rely on performance, but on authenticity. The kiss becomes less about impressing and more about expressing. And in that space, true chemistry has room to grow. It's also a kiss that teaches, not with words, but through energy. It teaches that self-respect is attractive, that boundaries are beautiful. That confidence isn't about being loud. It's about being aligned. It shows someone that you're not available to be consumed. You're available to be met. That's the standard it sets. And when that standard is embodied, it inspires others to rise to it, not through pressure, but through inspiration, through the unshakable presence of someone who knows exactly